You are training harder than ever, but your body feels like it's breaking down. Your joints ache, your sleep is fragmented, and despite the no pain, no gain mantra, your progress has hit a brick wall. What if I told you that in 2026, the secret to elite performance isn't doing more, it's doing it smarter? Today, we are dismantling the old-school fitness myths to introduce the ultimate 7-day protocol. This isn't just a workout, it's a biological reset. We are combining the revolutionary Zone Zero recovery protocols with hybrid strength programming. By the end of this video, you will have a complete day-by-day blueprint that optimizes your nervous system while building raw, functional power. We're talking about more muscle, zero burnout, and a body that actually feels as good as it looks. If you've been feeling like your fitness plateau is permanent, stay tuned, because the science of 2026 is about to change everything you know about the gym. Before we dive into day one, we need to understand the why. For decades, we thought recovery was just not training. We were wrong. In the 2026 fitness landscape, we've discovered that true recovery is an active, physiological state. That's where Zone Zero comes in. Unlike Zone 2 cardio, which is light aerobic work, Zone Zero is about down-regulating your sympathetic nervous system. It's the missing link that allows you to hit your hybrid strength sessions with 100% intensity. Hybrid strength itself is the fusion of bilateral heavy loading and unilateral functional flow. It's how we build bodies that are strong enough to deadlift 400 pounds, but mobile enough to move like an athlete. Are you ready to stop guessing and start evolving? Let's break down the 7-day master plan. Day 1. Hybrid posterior power. We start the week with the engine of the human body, the posterior chain. But we aren't just doing standard deadlifts. We are utilizing variable resistance loading. Start with 3 sets of trap bar deadlifts, but here is the 2026 twist. We are using accommodating resistance bands. This ensures that the tension remains maximal throughout the entire range of motion, protecting your lower back while skyrocketing your power output. Follow this with crossover lunges. Most people move only in the sagittal plane, back and forth. In hybrid strength, we move in 3 dimensions. The crossover lunge targets the glute medius and improves hip stability, which is crucial for injury prevention. We finish day 1 with loaded carries. Pick up the heaviest dumbbells you can hold for 40 seconds and walk. This builds bracing integrity, the kind of core strength that translates to real-world durability. Day 2, Zone Zero, the neurological reset. This is where 90% of people fail. They want to go back to the gym. Don't. Day 2 is your first encounter with Zone Zero. Today, your only goal is movement that costs you nothing energetically. We are talking about 30 minutes of vagus nerve stimulation through mobility. Think of ultra-slow, controlled articular rotations, or CARs, for every major joint. Focus on your breath. 4 seconds in through the nose, 8 seconds out through the mouth. This specific ratio signals to your brain that the war of day 1 is over. By the time you finish this 30-minute session, your heart rate variability, or HRV, should actually be higher than when you started. You aren't resting. You are aggressively preparing your cells for the intensity of day 3. Remember, in 2026, the person who recovers the fastest is the person who wins. Day 3, hybrid upper body, push/pull integration. Today, we move away from the traditional chest day and move toward functional symmetry. We start with the Z press. Sitting on the floor with your legs spread, pressing a barbell overhead. Without the back of a bench or the floor to stabilize you, your core and upper back have to work overtime. This is the definition of hybrid strength. Moving weight while maintaining perfect postural control. Next, we transition into commando pull-ups, followed immediately by slow-motion push-ups. We are looking for a 5-second eccentric phase. Why? Because time under tension in the lengthened position is the primary driver for hypertrophy in 2026 protocols. But here is the secret sauce. Between every set, you will perform 60 seconds of thoracic flow. This could be a thread-the-needle stretch or a cat-cow variation. We are avoiding the stiff look of 20th century bodybuilders. We want an upper body that is wide, thick, but also capable of full 360-degree rotation. Common mistake alert: do not flare your elbows. Keep them at a 45-degree angle to protect the subacromial space. You'll feel the difference in your shoulders almost immediately. We finish with face pulls using a high-tension cable, focusing on the squeeze of the rear delts. This isn't just about aesthetics, it's about prehab. We are building the muscles that keep your shoulders healthy for the next 30 years. Day 4, Zone 0, Metabolic Flushing. By now, your central nervous system is starting to feel the cumulative load of the heavy Z presses and deadlifts. In a traditional program, you'd probably push through and risk a plateau. In our 2026 protocol, Day 4 is dedicated to metabolic flushing. This is a specialized version of Zone 0, designed to clear cellular debris and lactic byproducts without spiking cortisol. Today's session consists of hydroflow, or soft surface rucking. If you have access to a pool, you'll perform 20 minutes of dynamic stretching in the water. The hydrostatic pressure assists in lymphatic drainage, moving waste away from the muscle tissues. If you aren't a swimmer, a 30-minute walk on grass or sand, barefoot if possible, is your alternative. The goal here is grounding. We are also introducing cognitive drills today. While you walk, perform simple mental tasks like counting backward from 100 by sevens. This is the 2026 mind-body integration trend. We want to train your brain to remain sharp even when the body is in a state of repair. Nutrition-wise, today is a high micronutrient day. Focus on polyphenols and anthocyanins. Think dark berries and leafy greens to combat oxidative stress. You should finish Day 4 feeling light and mentally hungry for the intensity of Day 5. If you feel exhausted, you went too hard. Zone 0 is about earning the right to train hard tomorrow. Day 5, the hybrid chassis session. This is the most demanding day of the week. We call it the chassis session because we are testing the structural integrity of your entire frame. We are blending high-output plyometrics with heavy compound movements, a method known in 2026 as contrast loading. We start with contrast squats. You will perform 2 heavy reps of a front squat at 85% of your max, immediately followed by 3 vertical depth jumps. This utilizes the post-activation potentiation effect. Your nervous system is primed by the heavy weight, allowing you to jump higher and explode faster. This builds explosive strength, the kind that makes you look and move like a pro athlete. After the power work, we move into rotational landmine presses. The world doesn't move in a straight line, so why should your training? By pressing the landmine bar while rotating your hips, you are teaching your core to transfer power from the ground to your upper body. This is the hybrid secret. It's not just about the size of the muscle, but the efficiency of the kinetic chain. We finish Day 5 with a density block. 8 minutes of kettlebell swings and burpees, doing as many quality reps as possible. This spikes your metabolic rate and triggers the EPOC effect, excess post-exercise oxygen consumption, meaning you'll be burning fat at an accelerated rate for the next 24 hours. You've pushed the limit today. Now, we prepare to descend. Day 6, hybrid unilateral and corrective power. On Day 6, we address the imbalances that Day 5 might have exposed. Most people have a dominant side that does 60% of the work. That's a recipe for injury. Today is all about single limb autonomy. We begin with Bulgarian split squats, but with a 2026 modification, the ISO hold. You will descend into the bottom of the squat and hold for 3 seconds before exploding up. This develops incredible tendon stiffness and knee health. If you want to run faster and jump higher without pain, do not skip these. We follow this with single arm row to rotation. By adding a slight twist at the top of your row, you engage the obliques and the deep stabilizers of the spine. The second half of Day 6 focuses on ancillary muscle groups. We're talking about the tibialis, the hip flexors, and the external rotators of the shoulder. These are the hidden muscles that the 2026 fitness revolution has highlighted as the keys to longevity. Use light weights and high reps. Think 15 to 20 reps of tibialis raises and face pulls. You are essentially armoring your joints. By the end of this session, your body should feel balanced. The asymmetry is gone, the stabilizers are fired up, and you are ready for the final day of the cycle. You've done the hard work. Tomorrow is about the ultimate integration. Day 7, full body hybrid integration and the deep reset. We've reached the final day. Today isn't a workout in the traditional sense, and it isn't quite rest. It is day 7, the integration flow. We are bringing the strength of day 1, the recovery of day 2, and the explosiveness of day 5 together into one seamless 40-minute session. We start with animal flow transitions, moving from beast reach to crab flip. This 2026 staple forces your brain to map your body's position in space, improving your proprioception. This is followed by tempo goblet squats, not for max weight, but for max control. 10 seconds down, 10 seconds up. This flushing technique sends oxygenated blood into the connective tissues that we stress during the week. The final 20 minutes of day 7 are dedicated to sensory deprivation, or deep zone 0. If you don't have a float tank, simply lie in a dark room with a weighted eye mask. Use a box breathing pattern. 4 seconds in, 4 hold, 4 out, 4 hold. We are forcing the body into the parasympathetic state to lock in the gains. Remember, muscle doesn't grow in the gym. It grows during this exact window of deep neurological stillness. This is the 2026 secret to longevity, knowing when to turn the volume of life down to 0 so you can turn your performance up to 11 tomorrow. Now, a 7-day program is only as good as the fuel that powers it. In 2026, we no longer guess our macros. If you're following this hybrid protocol, you need to match your intake to the glycemic load of your sessions. On day 5, your peak day, increase your complex carbohydrate intake by 30% to support explosive output. On your zone 0 days, prioritize essential amino acids, EAA, and high-quality fats like omega-3s to dampen systemic inflammation. Data is your best friend here. If your wearable shows a drop in HRV for 2 consecutive days, you haven't failed, you've simply received data. In that case, you swap a hybrid day for an extra zone 0 day. This is the adaptive training model that defines this era. We are no longer slaves to a static calendar. We are the pilots of a dynamic biological system. Look at your body as a high-performance machine. You wouldn't put low-grade fuel in a supercar, and you wouldn't redline the engine every single day without maintenance. This 7-day cycle is your maintenance, your fuel, and your race strategy all in one. If you execute this with 80% consistency, you will outperform 99% of the people in your gym who are still stuck in the more is better mindset of the past decade. Let's recap. We've moved from the heavy bilateral loads of day 1 through the neurological recovery of zone 0 into the explosive chassis peaks of day 5, and finally into the integration of day 7. This is the most balanced, scientifically backed way to train in 2026. The result? You'll build a body that isn't just gym strong, but world strong. A body that is resilient, mobile, and capable of performing at its peak for decades, not just months. But none of this works unless you take the first step. Don't just watch this, apply it. Tomorrow is day 1. I want you to commit right now. Which part of this 7-day protocol are you most excited to try? Is it the heavy hybrid strength or the deep recovery of zone 0? Drop a comment below and let me know. I'll be jumping in to answer your technical questions. If this breakdown changed the way you think about your training, do me a favor. Hit that like button and share this with one person who is currently burning themselves out in the gym. They need to see this. Train smart, recover harder. See you in the next one.